Hello class! Today we are going to be learning about the immune system. In particular, we're going to be learning about the first line of defense. But before we do that, I've got a question for you. If microbes are everywhere, why aren't we sick all the time? You have microbes that want to infect you and make you their home literally everywhere in your external environment. Why is it that you don't get sick all of the time? Well, your body has evolved a very complex set of defense mechanisms to prevent this from happening. Now, there are bacteria everywhere, even on your skin, that can kill you. When I was in university studying microbiology, we tested to see what type of bacteria we had in our noses, for example. And I actually contain a Staphylococcus aureus strain in my nose. About 1/3, 1/4 of the population does. If that gets into the wrong part of my body, it could theoretically kill me. So, how does my body stop that from happening? Another place where we talked about bacteria quite a bit was in digestion, right? Those bacteria that live in your colon, we give them a place to live. They give us vitamins and some things we can't get as a result. And we have a pretty good relationship. However, if they get into, say, your body cavity, because your appendix bursts, well, then they will make that their home and start to kill you. Question for you. Kind of an interesting fact. How many bacteria are in your gut and on your skin? How many bacteria do you have in and on your body? What do you think? Do you think it's 1 gram? Do you think it's 100 grams? Do you think it's a kilogram? Do you think there's, more bacterial cells than human cells? Less? Well, the answer is there's about 1 kilo of bacteria in and on your body. Now, since they're so much smaller than human cells, it works out that there's actually slightly more bacterial cells in and on your body than there are human cells. So, we have actually started to think of us as endosymbiotic organisms. We have a relationship with those bacteria in and on our bodies. And again, if they get into the wrong place, they can hurt us. So how do we stop that? Well, the immune system is how we stop that. The immune system is our body's defense mechanism against disease-causing organisms, malfunctioning cells, foreign particles, and things like viruses. Now, it's made up of networks of cells, tissues, and organs, and this is systemic. You have the immune system present in all parts of your body. First up is the first line of defense, and this is not specific, right? This is just general barriers to entry into your body. Things like your skin, right? Between your skin cells, there's junctions, tight junctions that stop things from penetrating. Your tears and saliva contain chemical agents that can attack bacteria, for example. First up is your skin. Now, your skin has a lot of different functions, right? You have sweat glands, which help with thermal regulation. You have all these blood vessels, right? If it's really hot, they enlarge, they dilate, so you can radiate heat from your skin. But the function we're going to be looking at is its protective function. Because your skin, your epidermal layer, is composed of a lot of dead layers of skin cells. So you have 20 to 30 layers of dead epithelial skin cells, and these layers serve as a protective barrier to entry. There are very few things that can pass through that layer. Now, second up is your tears. Fancy name for tears is lacrimal secretions. Now, the function is to continuously lubricate and cleanse your eyes. However, they do contain this chemical agent called lysozyme. And lysozyme, don't mistake this for lysosomes, lysozyme attacks the cell wall of bacteria. Bacteria have a cell wall to protect them, and lysozyme destroys that wall, leaving them vulnerable, and they die fairly quickly. Saliva, what is the first thing you would do as a kid when you got a cut? Right, what is the first thing you would do? So, you trip, fall, you scrape your hand, what would you do? Well, you'd stick your finger in your mouth and you would suck on it. Why do we have that instinct? Well, the reason we have that instinct is because your saliva also contains chemicals which can break down bacteria and other foreign invaders. So it also contains lysozyme. So your saliva and your tears contain lysozyme, which is an antibacterial agent. So that's why you would suck on your finger. Of course, nowadays I would obviously not recommend that. You get a cut, wash it well with soapy water, and ensure that you cover it with a Band-Aid or gauze. Cilia and mucus. We learned about this in the respiratory system. Mucus traps dirt and dust and other foreign particles, and then the cilia will push that mucus to the back of your throat, where it can either be spit or swallowed. Now, why would we want to swallow that mucus, right? If we have nasty foreign pathogens in it, why would we swallow it? That makes no sense, right? But it does if you think about where it's going, right? It's going to our stomach, to stomach acid. Now, what is the pH of our stomach? Reminder, it's about a pH of 2. It's 1.52. It's extremely acidic, and this extremely acidic environment will kill most things. There are things that can make it through your stomach unscathed, hence why you can get GI infections. However, most things will be killed by that super acidic environment. So, remember, how does the stomach protect itself from the super acidic environment? Just a quick reminder, because obviously the exam will cover all of the units. This is a cool way in which they link up. Well, it has a thick mucus layer, and it has cells that secrete bicarbonate to prevent the stomach from digesting itself. So again, your stomach acid is extremely acidic. Extremely, extremely acidic. It is a great environment for killing all of the things you ingest. So, quick review. First line of defense, it is non-specific. These are general barriers to entry. Your skin is a great, great layer for protecting you because it doesn't allow things in. Very few things can pass through your 20 to 30 layers of dead epithelial cells. Not only that, but those cells have tight junctions between them. Pretty much nothing can get through. And next up, you have tears and saliva. There's chemical agents in your tears, in your saliva, which will kill foreign invaders in particular. It's great at neutralizing bacteria. You then have cilia and mucus in combination with that gastric juice, where things in your respiratory tract, upper and lower, get pushed to your throat, where you can then swallow them and they get killed by your gastric juice. Now, as long as pathogens stay outside of the body, this defensive line will handle things just fine. It's when things pass this first line of defense, right? It's when they get past the stomach acid and into your GI tract, where your lower GI tract, where they can cause infection. Or perhaps they get into your lungs. They're not trapped by the mucus in time, it's not moved to the back of your throat, and they start to cause infection in your lower respiratory tract. Maybe they set up shop in your upper respiratory tract, cause infection. Maybe you puncture your foot on a nail and now you have tetanus, right? So if we pass these first line of defense, the second, third line of defense will jump in, and that's what we'll be learning about in the next lesson. Right on. Have a good day.